Hi Floss Tube, welcome to my little Stitchy world. This is Fran and it is sometime during the day of Sunday. I think it's close to noon. I think it's around noon. I don't know. It's somewhere. I have not finished my first cup of coffee. I had to run out to the vet and take my little Dobby, who I think is hiding under the blankets on the bed because she was pretty traumatized. She had to get some blood work done. I just went in, they took her in the back and drew her blood. Oh, that's hard. She's just my little Chihuahua girl. And anyhow, they drew blood. She wouldn't go pee-pee for them, so I get to be the collector now. And they're just running a blood panel. She's due for one anyhow. And then on Friday, I've got to drop my little girl off. They will, oh, that's my washer. They will keep her, oh, this is really hard. They're going to keep her and she's getting dental work done. And she just doesn't leave my sight except for those, rare times when she gets dropped off. And any of my dogs, I've had to leave Rico. I have had to leave Gizmo's sister Dobby. I've had to leave all my dogs getting spayed, getting neutered, getting teased. It's hard. But anyhow, I went by and got a coffee. I sometimes treat them if they did really good at the vet and get a puppuccino, but sometimes dairy can really bother their tummy. I get it for Charlie, my dachshund. It doesn't bother him, but my littler dogs it does, and I just didn't want to mess with that with her, especially when she's going in a week. Luckily she doesn't understand. So I'm going to go ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my stuff that I have and my whips and just do a little update on me at the end, so that way if you want to go on to another floss tube you can. It has been a little while since I've done my last video, and it was a very emotional video, but I will try not to let this one be as emotional. But I have gotten so much support on here and on Instagram that as hard as it was for me to do that video, it was worth it to feel the support that I get. And when you're going through what I'm going through, any support is greatly appreciated, and it's what helps me keep going. So I am going to go ahead before I start getting into talking and jabbering and show you, and I'm going to try, don't I always say this? I'm going to try and keep it short because I have a bunch of stuff I need to do. I've already went through a bunch of things and I'm still doing it to be prepared to sell my house and move. So let's go ahead and show you. I am recording on my old iPhone because I can record, I can put notes, I can take pictures and hook it up to my Mac computer. For some reason, I discovered that this phone here is, that's my husband. I like to keep his face alive in my heart, and there he is. When I'm really missing him, I just flip it on and just, but anyhow, what was I going? I have widow brain. That's what I've heard they call it, and like it's seriously like you lose train of thought just like that, or you can't find a word. Phone. That's why I picked my phone up. Okay, there it is. I discovered that the volume, and I don't know if it happened in my last video, it may happen. If it did, I'm so sorry. The volume goes up and down, and I didn't know that. Because it's an iPhone, it's a more expensive iPhone. My husband always got the bigger, better ones. And Me, it's just like, get me what needs to get by. So, I don't know. This phone has driven me cuckoo because the voice text, which I do a lot of, not in my car. My car has a Bluetooth, so I just push button and I just speak, and that is a pain in the butt by itself, no matter what phone I'm using. But sometimes when I'm doing something, I'll voice text because I just don't got time to be texting fast, and it messes up my words all the time. Like, I'll get done and look and say, I said nothing even similar to what that said. My phone, it may mess up one word. So I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. The picture is fantastic when I take pictures on here, but the recording, the volume is up and down, and I don't get it. So forget it. It has a lot of memory. It's great for majority of the things I use my phone for. So I'm just going to keep my old phone, and I will record on this and just hook it up to my Mac computer. I always hook it up my Mac computer anyhow. A video that takes 45 minutes to an hour on my Mac computer will take about 5 hours to 6 hours on my phone, because my computer, my big computer, is hooked directly up to the Wi-Fi. So this will be fine. But my tripod that fits this phone is packed. I packed it up because I figured I was going to be using this one, and it doesn't fit. This is too big. Well, it's packed up now. So I've got this propped up on my Bible and an iPad. It's just stacked up. So we're level, but that's why I'm kind of at an angle, because that's what I got to do. So I have a couple of charts here. I'm going to show you my haul. I have a feeling, I wish my iPad was here. The iPad that I have under here was my husband's. Yeah, it's in the bedroom. I think I may have charts on there. I probably do. And if I do, I'll try and remember my next video. And I'll try to make sure it's not like a month and a half from now. I don't know. My life is pretty busy. But I think that, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I got these charts. Well, this one I've gotten. No, it's both of these. Or all of, I don't know. I made an order that came in, like, we're talking like back to back from when my husband got sick. Or right after, by the time they came in. I don't remember. And then I bought a bunch of finishing items that were on clearance for fall stuff at Hobby Lobby. And this was in November, when my husband was in the hospital the first time, and it looked like he was doing better. So I was going to go home, and my husband said, why don't you stop at like Hobby Lobby or somewhere you like to go and just browse around? And I'm looking at him. What? He says, I'm fine. I'm going to be all right. They're talking about sending me home. And when I get home, I'm going to have doctor appointments, blah, blah, blah. And you need a break, he said, because I was burning the candles at both ends between work and home, and, you know, dogs and in hospital. And I mean, I didn't know where I was going and where I came from. It was crazy. I would go to bed and hit the pillow and I was out. And he said, just go wander around at Hobby Lobby. I had some money from something. I don't remember. And he said, just go, Fran. Just go do that. Relax. And I was like, can't go do that. And he insisted, and I'm like, okay, fine. So I went, and they had this whole clearance on Hobby Lobby, like 70% off. I got stuff 90% off on fall because Christmas was coming in. And I got a bunch of stuff that were super cute. I don't know if I did a video and showed it to you or not. I just don't remember. but they're all packed up. But they're for finishes, and I'm really hoping to kind of spruce up my room when I move in with my son, because I'll be in that room for a while before we even get, I mean, it's going to take a while just to get all the licensing and all, I mean, getting approval, you know, the whole bit. My mother-in-law said in Montana, you don't have to, you can just start building. There's downsides and upsides to that. The upside is we would make sure it was done right, because my son's house is a new build, and he wants it to, he said, Mom, if you can't afford certain things, that's going to work for my house, so if I ever need to sell it later, that it looks like it was never an add-on. He says, I'll help with that. He's like, I don't want you to pay like this exorbitant amount of money for siding that matches my house because I need it to match my house. And he says, we'll work it out. He was going to pay for the whole thing. And I'm like, no, it's my home. But, where was I going? See, I lose it again. Anyhow, I lost again. So I'm going to be in that room for a while. And I kind of wanted to fix it all up for the seasons, at least, minimum, just the seasons. Little things here and there, just to make it feel homey, you know. It's going to be a bedroom. I'm not even going to have a chair in there. It's not big enough. So, I gotta do what I gotta do, and I will. So as I'm fully finishing items there, and I pull something out that I had bought at Hobby Lobby, then you'll get to see it, but it's packed up right now. But I don't think I would have done a video and showed you. I don't know. Did I do a video while he was in the hospital? I just don't remember. It's just gone. So I purchased these couple of things, and I'm sure more on PDF, I'm sure, in all this time. Maybe there's more in my drawer and I just didn't see it. But I needed to get this Stony Creek bell pull. I have the other 3 seasons, and I got them all in magazines. And I wanted to pay for a magazine with this autumn one. Now you got to remember that this is older. They've got another bell pull seasonal that's very similar to this, but it's a very old style. It's their first one, and they just came up with another one. But it has been a while since it's been out. The magazine is the same price as just this leaflet. And I would have rather just got the whole magazine, because there's always something more in those magazines. I'm sorry, I'm sitting on my dog. That I just love. Well, I couldn't find it. Not on eBay, not on Stony Creek. I did a wide search, even at LNS's. Could not find it. I should have called Acorn and Threads. That's what I should have done. But it's a Stony Creek magazine, and if Stony Creek doesn't have it, I don't know. So they did have this bell pull, and I was panicked that I would not be able to get this soon, and so I just bought it and paid full price, paid for the shipping, and let me tell you, that's expensive with Stony Creek. But I was panicked that I would not get it because I've already got the other 3. So yeah, I want to do this and put it on the bedroom door. Another one that I got, and I just don't remember if I showed it to you. I was so excited, and I cannot even begin to tell you what the price was. Maybe if I looked it up on 123 Stitch. But I got this 12 Days of Christmas. Stephanie from Miss Osa Crafty did this. It's got everything in it. I will probably do it on another piece of fabric. This is Ada, and I'd really like to do it on like a 28 count. I will probably do it on white. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it on this. I'll see how it feels. I can't tell because it's in the bag. I don't want to open it. But the only place I could find this outside of eBay, and that was very few of them at a very pretty high cost. It was like $25. Well, actually, it's not bad for a kit, but I think it was $25. There was only a couple in there, and I think that was free shipping. I don't remember. Well, periodically I look. On 123 Stitch, you can get this, but it's just a chart, and I was ready to get just a chart because I really wanted to do this. And I just happened one day when my husband went back to Hermiston, I just happened to look, scroll around eBay, and there it was, and it was on a bid. And the bid was, I don't remember what the bid was, but it was way under $25. It was way under $20. I think it was like $9.99. So I put a bid on. It jumped it up to like $10.50, $10.49, whatever it was. And I put a reminder, and I kept checking and kept checking. No one had outbid me. There was a couple bidders before me and a bunch of people watching it. I thought I'm probably going to lose it because I'm not going to bid where I can get it, buy it now. That wouldn't make sense. So the last moment, like the last minute, I'm like refresh. I was ready to go up to a certain amount. I think I was ready to go up to $20. And I think I got it for under $15. I think I paid like I don't even know if anybody outbid me. I think it was the $10.49 or it was something that was so cheap. I was jumping up and down. My dogs were looking at me very strangely because I could not believe I got it for that price. The whole kit. Everything's in there. And it came very quickly, and then my husband got sick. So I don't know if I showed that to you. And then the other thing I got was, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe Cindy from Cindy's Cross Stitch was the one who showed this to us. I don't know. Somebody did. Somebody, man, I can't remember because that was way back. Like October, maybe November. My husband got sick. He went into the hospital like a couple weeks, no, what was it? No, right before Thanksgiving because he had Thanksgiving at the hospital. So, yeah, super cute stuff. She showed it, and I got on, she was like, oh, it's really cheap. Got it on Amazon. Oh, I'll look at it. And I looked it up, and I couldn't believe how cheap it was. She was right. You think I can remember? No. It was, I think it was Prime. I think so. But yeah, it was under $10. It was really cheap. It was like $8.99 or $7.99 or $5.99. I can't remember. It was under $10. Super cute because I wanted to do a bunch of little smalls. Since I'm moving into a smaller place, this turned out to be even a better find because I was thinking smalls around here, and now it's going to work out even better, unfortunately. Now we are in the new stuff. It was my birthday, okay? So I got some stuff with birthday money, and I have a couple more things that I just bought. But the first three I'll show you is not from birthday money. They're from clubs I'm on, and I'll see how long I can stick with it. But this is my second shipment of Coloring Cotton through Crazy Annie's. Obviously, it's not my second shipment from Coloring Cotton. But her directly, I stopped the fabrics and I stopped the floss until I sell my house and I get financially more stable. But if I can keep buying just these three, I will. But if I have to quit something, then it'll be that, because I am on June with the auto shipment from Beach Cottage Stitchery. So I have 6 more, so I'm halfway done. And then I purchased, it comes in automatic order with that. And this is the January Mystery Cottage from them. And I believe I've only got 5 more months, so I'd really like to stick with that since it's a series. Then I got this stuff for my birthday. I got this from 123 Stitch, the Autumn ABCs from Little House Needleworks. I hope you can see it. I got my curtain open on my sliding door, so it's kind of bright in here. And then I have the spring. At the time I purchased these, winter and autumn, no, sorry, I already have autumn. Winter and summer were out of stock. And since then, I went back on there, and one of them is still out of stock. But I was on eBay again, and one of them that was out of stock was there. Buy it now. And I purchased it, and I end up only paying like $1 shipping. The price for it was the same as 123 Stitch, but I end up only paying $1 for shipping. And since I had already just ordered these, I thought I'm just going to get that. So that will be on its way. I just bought it last night. Then today, before I did this video, I went back on 123 Stitch, and summer is still out of stock. So, did I order winter or did I order summer? No, I ordered summer and winter is out of stock. I think that's how it went. One or the other. And then I just threw this in. I thought it was super cute, really small, just like a little leaflet. Jolly Jack. It was like $3 and something. It was just really, really cheap and so super cute. So I got that. And then, yeah, I got some birthday money I scored. Mostly for my mother-in-law. Liberty Lane. I have wanted this since I saw Priscilla stitch it up. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. From Country Cottage Needleworks. I love Country Cottage Needleworks. So there's that. And then I've got one more thing that I got off of eBay, and I do not know if there's a problem or not. But this is called Halloween and Quilt. I'm sure all of you have seen this. Sorry, I cannot pronounce her name. I am bad with that. But a lot of people are stitching it. It's becoming quite popular on FlossTube. I have had a bunch of her stuff in my 123 Stitch wish list. You should see my wish list. It's crazy. But I've had a ton of hers in my wish list before she started really going across YouTube. So, I think this is my second one of hers. I can't remember. I'd have to look at my stash. But I got this, and I don't know, something made me a little nervous about it. I was looking at it and thought, man, this sure looks, I'm trying to get it back. This sure does look like a, there goes my dryer, a copy. Like the lady had just copied it off and just on stock paper. But I do know that companies themselves, when you pull this out, it looks like somebody just took thin printer paper and printed it off. But it's from the company. So I thought maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Now I'm very, very good about looking on the seller's information to see what their percentage is, how you know, if they got 100%, 90%. But when I got this was one of my first, you know, I've had my first Christmas without my husband, first New Year's, and then it was my first birthday since I turned 20. I've known him since I was 19, but I was already 19, so since my 20th birthday, he's been in my life. And then the very next day, because my birthday was February 11th, my very next day, February the 12th, was 2 months since he has passed. And then I knew a couple days later, it was, I think I ordered this right around that time. It was Valentine's Day. And let me tell you, I have fallen into some pretty deep depression, like some serious, like, where I have just cried out, God, you can just take me now. What's the point? It's taken me a long time, and I'm still trying to find the point, a little each day. But so it was hard, and I was not looking. I wasn't thinking clearly. I saw it was a good deal, and I hurried up and ordered it because I allotted myself a little bit of birthday money. I mean, it's all on me now. And so I ordered it, and I kind of was like, man, I don't know, there's something about it. So I get on the seller's list or seller's information, and she had like 97 or 98%, something, 97% good rating. A lot of people were very pleased with her. She shipped this out fast. She had it out the very next day. It came in no time at all. But the people that did complain, like she had it in this bag that's actually too small for it. Like you have to fight to get it in here. What people did complain about her was never shipping, never condition of anything. It was people saying, I think that these are copies. You're sending out copies, and that's illegal, and I'm going to report you. And to have multiple people say that after, well, not after, but I mean, I saw this after I got this in the mail and thought something didn't seem right. So I'm not sure if you saw what it looked like. I don't know if you have one of these and if you got it from your LNS or somebody legit and it looks like this. If it does, where it was made to be on like on printer paper, then I'll be skeptical on what people are complaining. But if you're saying no, it does not look like that, then yeah. But the thing is that I can't afford to shred it and get a genuine copy. I just can't. I'm not financially, like I said, all this was birthday money, and this stuff here was before my husband got sick when he was working, and of course, I'm working, and I wouldn't have gotten this stuff even at that good of a deal. So yeah, I paid money for it. I don't know if that sounds right or not, but I did pay for it. And other people said, I'm keeping it because I did pay for it, but I'm reporting you. This has been like off and on, and she's still on eBay, so I don't know if that's why I'm like, I don't know, because I would think that she wouldn't be allowed on eBay if they investigated it. So I'm not saying anything. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. I don't want to be wrong. I'm just saying this out loud over on YouTube. And I'm not leaving her name because I don't want to, or the seller name, if that's not the case. But I'm just like, if anybody has this chart and if it does or doesn't look like that, you could just say down below. And I'll just make sure I won't buy from her again. So there's that. I got one more thing coming in the mail. I was so excited about it. That's it. I'm broke with birthday money. I have no more. I have been slowly getting stuff, making sure. But it just came out from 123 Stitch. And it's part 1. And it's Jack Frost, The Farm. I think it's Country Cottage Needleworks that did it, I think. And I saw it and just fell in love with it. So I got that, and this is another part of my birthday money. I got this off of Amazon, and I got it with the intention that when I move in with my son and daughter-in-law, the one that's the floor stand I will take it into the living room if I sit down and watch TV with them and watch movies. And that is when I'm sitting down wanting to watch stuff on my own TV in the bedroom, and I can use that if I'm not stitching in hand, to watch TV with and put that on the bed with me. So that's what I got. And the only other thing I have to show you is I received this in the mail from Ingeborg from A Stitch Too Far, and it was a beautiful card. I love butterflies. And it had a sweet note in here. And let me just say that I said I wouldn't cry. You don't need to hear that again. There's so many days that I come home, and I'm crying on my way home because he won't be here. And I'm crying because I miss him, and I miss his voice, and I miss his face. And I keep expecting to see him walk through the door right over here that goes from the garage to the laundry room to the family room. And that's how he would come in. And even though I watched my husband die with my children surrounding him and my in-laws, my sister, I still kept expecting to see him walk through the door. And one day I was coming home, and I was crying because I realized now, after 2 months, I am now used to him not being here. And that is like mourning all over, in a different way. It's like mourning again for that. And then I get my mail, and this is in it. So I smiled as soon as I opened it, and I really needed that smile. And I've gotten other sympathy cards that are from family and friends, pouring their hearts, saying how much they love David, how much they're going to miss him. And just knowing that people loved him and came to him and came to his bedside, and still showing their grief towards me has been huge and has touched my heart for my husband. But to get a card from someone who didn't even know my husband, that I've never met in person, to send a card to me that far away with kind words, it means a lot. Everybody in my life, in one way or another, whether it's on FlossTube, Instagram, my friends, my family, my work family. When I say, why am I still doing this? Why am I still here? I don't know if I can keep doing this. Then somebody somewhere in my life touches my heart, and it's like, okay, just like people cared about my husband, I'm seeing how much people care about me and wanting to help see me through this, even just with kind words. So thank you so very much for this. I appreciate it so much. And she sent this little gift, this little charm, and it says down here, she wrote it in this, that it says, your light will always shine. And I will be putting it on a cross stitch. When the right words come, whether it's something from me or something I find that's like, that's it, I will be stitching it. And I know that I am going to stitch the words, and I'm just going to put some type of sweet border around it, something simple. My husband was a simple man. And then I'm going to attach this to it, and then probably a heart. As soon as I find a heart that will work. So, yeah. And all my cards that I've gotten goes into a decorative box that you get at the craft store that my husband's cousin brought over for me to put those cards in. And I've also written him a letter and have put that in there. And so, and then I've had all these amazing things happen in my life since I've lost my husband. And my friend said to me yesterday, she said, please, please, I can't implore you enough to get a journal and write all of these, because in 5 years, 10 years, you're going to be able to look back and go, how did I make it through? And you'll be able to look and read that and go, that's how I made it through. Things like that, coming home in tears for those reasons, and getting a card from someone all the way in the Netherlands, coming home and getting a phone call, coming home and getting certain messages. When I'm so sad, yesterday morning I was crying my heart out, because I cried out to God and I said, I don't want to ever forget his voice. Please, God, I don't want to ever forget his voice. And I am telling you, shortly after that, in no time, my friend and my second lead and friend sent me a message and said, Fran, I just saw this. It's on YouTube. You've got to hear this. I hope it doesn't make you cry, but it touched my heart and it made me think of David. And she said, I love you. So I ended up playing it, and it was a song called Heaven, and she was singing about going to heaven and all these words. And when I was listening to it, I was remembering back to my husband in the hospital and knowing he was going to pass, and he had said, Fran, I'm going to see Jesus. I'm going to be at the feet of God. And I'm not afraid, and all these words. And as she's singing this song, I'm remembering him saying that, and it's like, I have peace. I have peace about this. So when the song was over, I texted her and said, I am crying. I'm crying my heart out, but it's for a good reason. And she called me like instantly. She's like, Fran, I'm sorry. I didn't want to make you cry. And I told her, no. And I explained to her about hearing the song and why I was crying before, about, crying out to God about missing don't want to forget my husband's voice. And then I told her, it just, that song, those lyrics, it's what David was telling me. It was what he was telling me in the hospital. And she goes, Fran, do you hear yourself? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm at peace with this. It hurts. I cry all the time, but I'm at peace with his spirit. And she's like, no, you're not hearing me. You just got done telling me you cried out to God that you were afraid of forgetting his sound of his voice. And then you turned around and said, as you was listening to the song, you heard David telling you these things at the hospital. Well, yeah. She said, Fran, you haven't forgotten his voice. There I was, started crying all over again. I was like, you're right. She goes, God used that song. For me to text you that song, he used that song to say, no, we won't let you forget. David and I will not let you forget the sound of his voice. And I said, he used you to send that to me. And she's like, yeah, he did. So we both are like, realizing it. And it's these little things. And I was telling my friend Joyce, and she's like, that's when she said, please get a journal. Please. This just brings me to tears right now just to hear. She's like, I've heard this in stories and books, but I've never known a person sitting here telling me these things that have happened to you after you cry out to God. Like immediately, boom. It's like my husband's last paycheck was in November. That's when he got sick. It is now February, and I have not been late on one bill. And I am financially okay right now. And I work a little part-time job. You can't deny, I can't deny who's taking care of me. And the people that he's using in my life. My taxes, I got double back. And last year was hard financially. And I don't cheat on my taxes, believe me. Nuh-uh. I'm not going to get caught in that. So, yep. That was my dog who just snorted. So, I'm going to show you more stitching before I ramble on anymore. I'm getting them all out of my bag. Sorry. I don't remember if I showed you. This is all the stuff I've been stitching now. I don't know if I showed you this. I haven't picked it up in a while, so I'm not sure if I've already was working on this the last time I showed it to you. but I'm filling in the purple. This is 18 count, and I have just, let me say it again. I have realized I hate stitching on 18 count. The stitches are teeny tiny. And I see people on floss tubes stitching teeny tiny stitches, like over 1 on 28 count. No, this girl doesn't like to do that. They're beautiful. And that's really cute on teeny tiny stitches like that. Don't get me wrong. Really, really cute, but it's a pain in the butt. You've got to really make sure your floss is laying down right. This is also 18 count, the same fabric, just cut off a piece. It is on this. I'm having a hard time here. It is Way to Happiness, but like she's so delicate. She is just so super delicate. And the stitches are nice. I mean, they look good, but it takes so much time. So here it is from afar. At an angle. That's terrible. I should have taken that off. Then I'm working on my temperature chart for 2018, and if I pick this up for one more week I will be done, but of course my husband got sick, so I didn't get to finish it. But I have all the temperatures written down, and I've just got the month of December, and I think it's like 2 more weeks. It's filling in all of this. So now that the year is over with, I just take one color and I hit all the spots of that color. So that's why it's not done in a row. And then the last 4 days of December is where you finish off with a border. So this is the 28th of December, and then you take that design and color and carry it. This will be the 29th, and then so on. And this is super easy because once I do the first 2 blocks, I've got it down, and I just sit there and watch TV and keep going. And I end up stitching the whole thing in no time. So yeah, I could get this done in a week. So I'm thinking of just skipping everything else, grabbing this on Monday, tomorrow, and just going for it. So that would be my 3rd finish of my Stitch 9 challenge. Whoa, go me. Sorry, my coffee is getting cold. It's on its way to being an iced coffee. The other thing I stitched on, I spent 2 weeks. I was going to say a week, but it was 2 weeks on this. Black Lace Sampler from Rosewood Manor. Doing it on a 28 count white. And I almost got it where I wanted it. So as I was stitching it on the 2nd week, and it was the last few days, I was pretty sure I wasn't going to make it to the top, and I wanted to see if I had lined everything up right and it was going to meet up here. So what I did was I'd stitch so far, and then I'd take some floss and cross stitch these straight rows, and I'd stitch some more and do the same thing. And on the very last day of my 2nd week, I got to this, and I just decided to finish these 2 rows up here just to see if it matched up. And look at that. I almost did the jig. I did not get it wrong. It all worked. Because that's a lot of flipping stitching, and if it had not worked out, I think I would have boycotted stitching forever. But I love this. It was supposed to hang in my living room, but I will hopefully have a living room again one day, and it will go there. I have a mirror that has what I call curly cues. It's wrought iron. My husband and I picked it out. So this mirror we paid like 120 bucks for. Heavy mirror. We did it just to put in the living room. So that will go in my living room. Um, here we go. Again. And I want to put that beside it. So, and then find another lace like that, or maybe do that free one. I can't think of the name of it. Can't think of it. Ingeborg from Stitch Too Far did it. And I believe Stephanie is doing it for Miss Oh So Crafty. I believe she's doing it. Can't think of the name of it, but it's black. It's a black work sampler. So then also I've been working on, let me show you this part, for Snowfall from Country Cottage Needleworks. Hashtag PC for Snowfall. And here it is so far. That is bad. Let's see. My cardboard that I use is packed up. Okay. There we go. I got one word done because I got tired of the snow, so I stitched in a word just to change it up. But I am basically working down here. I did all the greenery of that tree, the snow, the entire tree, the bunny, and the deer. And right around here, I have another tree. And I have to finish the deer. And I will do the French knots for the eyes at the end, since I have so much stitching on the front, and I will be gathering the fabric, and I don't want to mess up the French knots. So I am working on that now. I do have a Way to Happiness just sitting in that thing. I wanted to see how well it worked, but I'm actually working on this. And at this point, what I'm doing is I'm stitching whatever makes me happy and whatever I want to work on until tomorrow. Not that stitching on that doesn't make me happy, but I just want to get the temperature chart done since I'm so close to getting it done. And I'm really feeling the need to do that. So I'll be pretty excited to get it done. It's a really fast stitch. It's not that big of a deal. So I did Stitch 9's challenge, and I got the wolf done. Still sitting here. Haven't finished fully finishing it. Then I got the Country Cottage Needleworks January Cottage. I already put it away, sorry. But it's got all the call for colors. And then, so that went down to 7, and I bounced it back to 8 because I have been wanting to stitch on this. I keep thinking about it. So I just grabbed it from my whip pile where all my boxes are. Because it's just, you've seen it. I've shown it to you when I bought it at Joann Fabrics. And all my whips are just stacked in there. And so I grabbed it and put it in with my pile. So I haven't worked on it yet, but it's sitting here if I want to work on it. And getting the temperature chart done again, or getting the temperature chart done. I am not talking well. That will give me 3 finishes, so I figured it's no big deal to grab another one. So I'm doing pretty darn good, considering I'm only stitching in the evening and sometimes only about a half an hour or an hour. There have been some days I've stitched for like 3 hours straight, so that helps catch up. But that's pretty much what I've been doing, just stitching in the evening. And when I'm home, I pack things here, I pack things there. I have sold the RV, took less than 24 hours to sell it, and had multiple people clamoring to get it. Like multiple people on their way, and I had to let them know. The first people that showed up took it and drove away. Sold the pickup to a friend of my son's, making arrangements with him. And I sold some things in my house that only took like a day to 2 days to sell. I'm doing a few at a time, so I'm not overwhelmed. I'm doing things around the house. I've had my son, my oldest son, and a friend come and help me with a bunch of things in the garage and in the backyard. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Moved a few things. My son grabs whatever he can grab and puts it in his car, his trunk, and takes it home, and he's cleaned out areas to store it. This coming weekend, in a week, we'll probably be doing the same thing, if not a lot more stuff, because this weekend, tomorrow or tonight, they say we're going to get hit with snow and the whole area is going to get hit. Like Portland, us, the gorge is just getting hammered. I don't know if I go to work tomorrow. If I don't, then I have backup plans on what to do. If I do, then I have some things that I want to get working on now. What time? It's 50 minutes. Oh my goodness. Work on now, so just in case it doesn't hit. But I checked on it again today. The temperature and everything that says was going to happen is happening. And some models say it's going to go into Tuesday. Some models say it won't. So I don't know what's happening. So I'm acting like we won't get hit. But normally here's Salem. Here's snow. Like here's snow. Or here. Or it comes from here. Or sometimes it's here. Sometimes it's here. And here's Salem. And right now last night I saw the radar. And it shows Salem. Here's all this snow. Just a little here. And it starts coming in. And just blankets everything. And it still looks like that. So I have a list of what I want to get done, priorities. I've got to start getting my house on the market. My house is not on the market yet. I already know when the real estate agent comes. My mother-in-law told me how he works because that's who I'm working with. He had her house sold in 2 days. Her sister's house sold in like a week or two. Other people in 2 days. He can't guarantee that. It's a different market, different area. But he's really, really good. And he does not stop. And he's a Christian. He already got on speakerphone and prayed for my mother-in-law and I. Just like a day after my husband passed, he just like, please put me on speakerphone. I want to pray for you too. And super nice guy. He prayed for my aunt, my husband's aunt. So he's a really great guy. But she said he'll come in, he'll look at everything, and he'll say, you might want to do this and this and that. If you don't do this, he'll go through everything. Then he goes back, and then he gets the comps for the area, does the whole thing, and then he calls and lets you know. And then he'll come back when you're like, okay, I've gotten these ready, or it's too expensive for me to do this. What can we do without fixing this? Whatever it is. My house doesn't have much. I got so many major things I've done. We've got a whole new roof, whole new heating system. Underneath the house, totally relined just like 2 winters ago. Or last winter, something like that. It's crazy. Like, people are going to walk into this and not even have to worry about a roof for 30 years or 20, 27 years. Heating system, good 30, 35 years. This is like energy efficient, like really good heater. So it's just a few little things. I'm going to paint my bathroom, freshen it up. But there's some things that a lot of people say don't worry about it. But anyhow, my minutes are ticking by. It's amazing how I start off wanting to only be about 30 minutes or 35 minutes. And I see videos where people are like that. But I think it's because I don't do a video but every month and a half. And I've got all this to catch up on. So that's why I chose to really try and do most of my talking. It's been going off and on throughout the video, but a majority of my catch up at the end, so you don't have to hear it all if you don't want to. But that's basically where I am. I'm still in my house, and I don't know how long I'll be here. But it's not a fast process like I thought it would be a month ago. I thought I'd actually be out by now. I'm not kidding. And I haven't even called the guy. So I've got all of that to deal with. My husband's retirement, I'm rolling into an IRA. I'm going to be going on my day off to talk to the person I'm going to talk to about that and roll that over. Depending on how much I get from my house, if I get a certain amount, which I'm hoping and praying I do, then I'm going to match that and put that in the IRA because financially I'll be fine. So I hope and I pray. God has been with me through everything. I prayed really hard before I put the RV up for sale. And I said, Lord, this is what David wanted me to sell this RV for, and I pray that that's what I get. Every person who was clamoring to get here that day all had cash, asking price, in their pocket. In fact, my son said, my mother wants asking because that's a good deal. And everybody said, oh, I've already got asking. I've already got it in cash. Not even going to barter. Wasn't even planning on bartering. All these people? Wow. And when the person came and did buy it, handed me an envelope with cash asking. Never even said one word about offering any less. So, and then on top of it, he was Air Force. And my husband's Air Force. What? My husband would have been so pleased. So, it was him, his wife, and his little daughter. So yeah, everything is working out, and God says he takes care of the widows and the orphans, and he's taking care of me, and he's doing it through other people. He's doing it through other means. I mean, the government, to get doubled back on my taxes, the government doesn't care about the widows and the orphans. Come on, let's keep real. They care about themselves. And so, yet he worked it all out. So, yeah, it's going along, and I'm doing the best that I can to go along each day, and I get strength from God and from the people around me, and I try and open my eyes every day to see the blessings I have around me, and the people who love me and care about me and support me. And I can't thank you all enough for your wonderful comments on Instagram and on here. Letting me know you're praying for me, because I can feel it. There's always a part of the day that I just wonder, how am I going to get one foot in front of the other? And then it doesn't take me very long, and suddenly I feel lifted up. And I know it's just from all the prayer and all the positive thoughts, and all the caring words that people are sending me. It means a lot. I can't even, like, I'm telling you how much it means, but I can't even express truly how I feel about what it means. So I'm going to get off of here because, yeah, cleaning my dresser off and packing some stuff that I'm not using, it's not going to do it by itself, unfortunately. I thought it would yesterday, and yeah, the dresser still looks the same. It's a bummer. I've got to do it myself. And if I want to stitch and get the snow done on that forced snowfall tonight, I need to work on doing this now. So in a tiny, tiny bit of way, I hope it snows, because I have been exhausted. I did an 8-hour shift this last week. Any extra hours, my boss or my second lead calls me, and I snatch it up. So it makes me feel so good to be at work and to be out around all the ladies there. I mean, they make me laugh and smile, and they do it on purpose. I know they do. They just lift me up, and it feels so great to be there, because I'm pretty lonely here. And I am at home alone, but I have a lot of things I need to do. I have a lot. So if I just keep, calling people, hey, you want to go hang out here and here and there, I'm not going to get this stuff done. And I do got to get my house on the market. So it's lonely, but at the same time, I have my dogs. I turn on podcast. If I turn on FlossTube, I don't know how you do the dishes and stuff and watch FlossTube, because I've got to watch you. I got to watch you guys. You have so many beautiful stitches and charts, and I just got to sit here and watch you. And so I watch you in the evening. So I just turn on podcast and get going. So that's what I got to go do. I got to shut up now. I'm starting to get a coffee rush. So my mouth starts going when I've got caffeine in my system. So I'm going to get off. I'm going to get this onto my computer and start getting that going right away. And I will talk to all of you soon. I will do my best to get back to you in 2 weeks. I'm going to start placing a goal. I'm going to put it on a calendar. And I will keep you up to date. And maybe if I do it every 2 weeks, I won't be talking for an hour. So I will see you all soon. I will try and post more on Instagram. Try and be a little more active on there again. I weaned off some, not on purpose, just being busy and tired. But I will try and post things I stitch on again. So, yeah, I'll see you hopefully in 2 weeks. I love you all. Thank you all again for your support. It means so much to me. Um, the card, the books I got from Michelle on grieving, you all have been so inspiring and encouraging to me, and I appreciate you all. So, talk to you later. Bye, everyone.